Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you need to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty half my age at the crib, and I'm trying to get to it. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need it.
One drink? I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really, yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right, welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to say is brought to you by Dispose LLC. This is a garbage company been around now for over 3 years, and all you got to do is go to our website and you can see all the great things I can do for you when it comes to the commercial side and also on the residential side. But again, not the Herbie Kirby's to the side of the street, but we started to do some things that's a little bit on the recycling side.
Okay.
But if you go to the website, you'll be able to see all these different things. And if you have any questions, you can always go to me and inbox me. I'll be trying to answer any questions, but also you can always call me. I'm not just going to give my number out like that because some of y'all ain't going to be calling me for the right thing. I'm going to do that right now. But look, I said Dispose
all right.
on the website.
All right.
Now I got to get back to this man that's been rocking with me now going on 6 years. Coming this bad boy with a smile each and every time. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
I'm doing great, Jay. I'm doing great, man. Everything's lovely.
I like that, man.
Everything's lovely, man. You know, changes in the air, but you know,
got some changes going on.
oh yeah, I got a few changes
Got some
going on.
positive things.
But yeah, things are moving in the right direction.
I like that.
Yeah.
See, you know, most people want to be nosy about what. See, everything ain't to be told all the time. Sometimes it's to be showed.
Right.
You know, show your work. You know.
Right.
Some people just like to run their mouth.
Yeah,
like me.
I'm not interested in that.
Man,
So how you doing tonight, Smooth Day? You
Man.
all flossed up,
Man, we
bro.
we doing a little shine tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, I'm trying to get a couple more people to watch the show. You know, I'm trying to make it a little statement.
Okay,
you know,
I see that.
but
I see
they'll
that.
never know if
I'm
they
gonna
don't
step my game up,
until
man.
they watch.
Yeah.
But don't worry, man. You step up all the time when you come in with a smile.
Yeah.
See, I might dress nice and catch your eye, but that smile should be more captivating because it shows a happiness on the inside.
Yeah.
You can dress up and be miserable. Okay. My whole thing is not to do that, but it's to have that love inside me, to care, and let it shine through me. So again, I dress a little bit more up than down because it helps me in my attitude.
Yeah.
Because my ego gets me out there, and I got to bring it back a little bit and also let it shine through what I wear and also how I act.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
trying
love
to level that out.
I love it. I love it. A great way to introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
Beauty.
And of course, we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a great dialogue. Tonight's topic is age difference important in a relationship?
Ooh, Lord.
Is age difference important in a relationship? Something that we can all learn and grow from. Perhaps your Mr. or Mrs. Right might be a few years older, a few years younger than you are. And you need to figure out how you're going to deal with it and what might be some of the implications or repercussions, as they say, consequences and repercussions of dating outside your age bracket. And so we want you to grow as you sit here and listen to this show. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we wanted some meaning to come out of this. And this is not just for play. Jay decided many years ago that he wanted to nurture people who might have had their first drink.
Yes, sir.
And of course, those are the people who typically will open up and tell you what their problems are and may not necessarily be ready to deal with it, but at least get it on the table. And that's what Bar Talk with Jay is all about. So we hope you learn and grow. We're certainly grateful that you are here with us tonight. We always start the show off with a prayer.
Okay.
And I got a nice prayer lined up for us tonight. Tonight's prayer is about right answers, right action. Right answers, right action. And maybe a little lengthy, so just bear with me because I'm just going to be speaking word. Just act like I'm speaking over your life. Like I'm praying for you specifically. All right. Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for another great night here on this show. We ask that you would continue to be with us and strengthen us and allow us to put forth a wise message to the world. We're asking, Heavenly Father, tonight that you would give us right answers and right actions. You know, Lord, sometimes we have questions and we don't address those questions. We don't know how to address those questions. Sometimes they're about our history. Sometimes they're about our future. Sometimes it's about health concerns and issues. Sometimes it's about our purpose. Sometimes, Lord, we just need to know which is the right direction to go.
Yes.
And even more than that, sometimes we need to know what are the right things to desire, what are the right things to attack in life. Well, tonight, Lord, I call forth answers. In all questions that I have in all areas of my life, may the perfect answers now be revealed. If there's any fear in me, Heavenly Father, remove it. If there's any doubts or worries or anxiety or frustration or lack, remove it. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. We ask, Father, that there would be no more guessing in this walk of life, that there would be no more mistakes and no more hurdles and obstacles. But we're asking, Father, to be guided to our highest and greatest truth. We're asking, Father, to be guided to our place of purpose and to our happy place in life. And we stand firm right now in the middle path and claim success as our own. We claim prosperity. We claim health. We claim wellness. We claim happiness and joy. We ask, Father, that you would fill us with the spirit of right actions and right answers. We ask that you would be on this show, do your good and perfect work. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Okay, Kraft. Okay, you was
Amen.
blessing over some folks tonight.
Yeah, man. Somebody going to be blessed by that.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I'm telling you, I feel the answers to every single one of these prayers I do on the show. About 2 or 3 or 4 days later, somewhere in there, it hits me.
Bro, I feel
I'm talking about every single time, praying for prosperity, praying for answers, praying for strength, praying for, right understanding and wisdom, whatever it is I'm praying for, those answers come forth. So we got to know that our spoken word is revealed.
Come on, man.
And we got to allow God to do more in our life than we ever have before. Let me just say it like that.
Say it.
God can do 1,000 things in your life. But if you never give him the opportunity to do so, if you never ask him for it, he's not just going to come answer. See, we got to keep in mind that Christ only healed those who asked for it. He didn't go around just healing the land. He only healed those who asked. And so that is our job, to make the request. Put the request out to God and put the request out to the universe and allow it to do some good and perfect work. It'll reveal those answers for you pretty quickly, man. I can't wait till you folks get a hold of my new product.
Tell them about it, man.
Yeah, Minecraft is coming along quite well. Okay. And you're able to go to the site and start looking at some of the products, minecraftcentral.com. And there's a couple of products there that really give you an elevated look at life. One is called the Mindset Creator, and the other one is called a Thought Motivator. And they're both great products just to help you lift your spirits. Yes. Just to help you figure out, what do I need to be asking for, right? And that's what I come to in all of that work. We don't have right desires. Like our desires aren't they aren't. They aren't hitting the bottom line. They're not rubber to the road. Our desires are kind of fairy tale. Well, we want desires like large checks. Can we get large paychecks? Can we get major come-ups? Major come-up is a desire to have. You should be desiring major come-ups. You should be desiring breakthroughs in your business. You should be desiring outcomes that benefit you with traction on the road. You know what I mean? Moving from A to B. And sometimes that's 10 yards and sometimes that's 100 yards. But you got to be moving forward,
Sound like to me you hitting on that word scrupulous.
I am hitting on scrupulous.
Okay.
Yeah. Jay and I have a men's group, and Jay has a men's group, and I participated again last night. And the word for the night was scrupulous. And what I was attempting was to get all of the brothers to be a little more scrupulous in their life. And scrupulous means more attentive to detail.
Correct.
Right? More, you want to protect yourself so much more that you avoid making mistakes. Right? And you have to be scrupulous nowadays in everything because, as we talked about a little bit last night, if you go and get an oil change, we all think of oil change as a oil change, filter, air filter,
them days over.
Top off the fluids. But if you go get an oil change nowadays,
You just get an oil change.
you just get an oil change.
They ain't checking your
They ain't checking nothing.
Ain't checking your
you
tires.
have to scrutinize your processes and ask for what you want. And sometimes that's in business decisions, sometimes that's in relationships. But I'm asking that everyone consider being a little more scrupulous in their life, a little more detail oriented, and a little more focused on the things that really count. You know, we can do a lot of low payoff activity, but let's focus on the high payoff activity. You know,
That's what I like about the word.
yeah, it is. And so let's cover our quote for tonight quickly. Goes like this: the outcome is more favorable if you try to understand someone than to change them. Most may not necessarily need to change, but just to be understood. Seek to understand versus to change. Ooh, that's powerful, man.
Yeah, that was real deep. Of course, that came from Barbara from Macon, Georgia.
Yeah, and what is she really saying here in this quote?
And I think people are so quick to have their own judgment on you that they got their own desires that they're not even hearing yours. So if they heard yours, they will have a better understanding of you and they wouldn't be so quick to want to change you.
Yeah.
I believe that a lot of times you don't understand. You really can't change anyone. But what you can do is piss them off by pushing things down their throat other than what they really desire. And a lot of times that's just what happens with a lot of times when it comes to relationships, because one person see things one way and then the other person is trying to articulate how they really feel, and you just need to do this, and it become more of a dictatorship. And no one wants to be cast down when it comes to their feelings and the things they want to say. So they usually be quiet, but they're going to come back. And to some people, it's just bitching, but no, it's their way of communicating, letting you know, no, you're not hearing me. And when you start really listening, you will start seeing you can prevent half of your problems by really listening.
Yeah.
But we too busy in our day-to-day and feeling like it should be this way that you're not paying attention to your problem.
Yeah, and I'm gonna just give you a little idea here on listening skills, because that's kind of what this is about. It's about listening to people, paying attention to the people that are in front of you. What are they saying? Because I'm a salesperson, I always ask myself this question. Anytime and every time someone is talking to me, I ask myself, why are they telling me what they're telling me right now? And when you ask why, then you have to look in their eyes. Because sometimes people just need attention.
Okay.
Right? Some people are telling you stuff just because they need a friend. They need somebody to listen. Sometimes they're telling because what they're saying makes them feel like they weren't the problem in that issue they're telling me about. It'll big them up a little bit. They can tell me their side of the story, and I never have to hear the other two sides of the story, right? So I'm listening from an empathetic standpoint,
Right.
But sometimes I'm listening to people, and what I'm hearing is, oh, they really don't give a shit about what I think, right? I'm listening to them, and they're in this conversation with me, but they're really not hearing anything I say.
Right.
I'm listening to what they're saying, but they're not hearing anything I'm saying, right? They're not even regurgitating what I'm saying back to them. They're not identifying. They're not agreeing. They just go on and saying something else.
Let's do
and sometimes I'll check out of those conversations, but go ahead.
Let's do a skit real quick.
What?
What about a person come up in there and be like, all right, Craig, I need to get this car. And you be like, well, how's your credit? Oh, don't be worried about that, bro. You know I'm balling. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they got bad credit.
You know, you see that nice car I drove up in?
Yeah.
Rental.
Yeah, no, your mama's car.
Lord, you go there? Okay.
Yeah.
Mama got a nice one. But anyway.
Mama got a nice one.
And I keep it clean. I keep it clean, though.
Yeah.
Mama don't keep it clean as I do.
Do you keep the room clean that you live in her
Oh,
house?
hell no. I keep my mama car clean because she'll talk about me.
Yeah.
She don't go in my room because she did. She'll kick me out.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I went up there to get a nice ride, and I figured, hey, let me let you know, man. Hey, don't worry about that credit thing, bro. Go ahead and just put me in that nice car right there.
Yeah.
Don't worry about all that, man. I understand you got your regular questions. Just know I got this, bro.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and run me through.
And here's what I would say to you. Say, hey, listen, young man, with all due respect. Right. You selling dreams to the wrong person. Okay.
Why am I selling dreams?
Because your signature means nothing unless your credit is in order. Ooh. So what we got to do is check the credit. And that tells me who's willing to loan you money. See, I got to go out there and ask of somebody to loan you some money. But I can't do it on promises and fantasies and fairy tales. I got to do it on what you make. I got to do it on how well you pay your bills. And so what we're going to do is go ahead and pull a credit application. Is that all right?
At this point, to the rest of y'all out there trying to get a car, get your stuff in order before you sit in front of this man.
Yeah, sometimes I can help you get it in order, and sometimes I can cross a lot of loopholes.
Right.
You know, people have job time off, or they only been on their job 1 month, or they got low credit score, but they got a paid off car from previous years. I can use all of that as leverage for you. So, but most importantly, you ain't gonna run game. You ain't gonna close the closer. And that's what happens a lot of times is people are selling their dreams rather than earnestly trying to convey to you, here's my situation. Can you help me? And so we have to listen for that. But
I want to make sure everybody know that. That's why we need y'all to go to Craft. Because one of the things Craft can do is get you into a vehicle, but the main thing is you can trust him. So the one reason I did this skit is because a lot of time you want to run game, but sometimes we got people in the industry that will help you. That's what this brother is willing to do. I backed that. I bought a car from him. It was an easy process, and he gave me a tool to use to make sure I was prepared for when I walked up in there. He didn't just do it for me. He'd do it for you. And that's what I endorse.
Yes. I sure appreciate that.
Not a
Jay.
problem, my brother.
Yeah, when you come to buy a car, man, you come to buy a number of things. You're buying the character of the dealership, because I can sell you a good car, I can sell you a bad car, right? And so you want to be buying from a good place, and some people that put money into the car before you bought it, right? Okay. All right, if you're buying a used car. So when you come in, I'm all about taking care. I'm an advocate for women. Mamas, grandmamas, aunties. I know you don't know what you're doing, but you need a good car. I'll be the guy to take care of you, walk you through the process, protect you, because there's a lot of wolves in the process. Believe me, protect you and make sure that you get a good deal. And even show you how to get better deals after the fact sometimes. So I'm just all about helping people, right? But what we are talking about here is changing people, and you can't change people.
Correct.
I'm just asking that you would let's all take heed to this quote today and find a way to listen more genuinely to the constituency around us. If you know that the person who's talking to you, who you're in a conversation with, if you know that they love you, if you know that they love you, give your all in terms of attention. Give your undivided attention to them in every way that you possibly can. And that's called nurturing love. That's called nurturing the people that you love and the people that love you. Because, hey, we asked the question last week, what was this said? How does who prays for the motivator?
Oh,
who motivates the motivator? Yeah, we got to be on top of that. Listen, it's time for us to take our first break. And we are planning to play a Minecraft clip here. If for any reason it don't go well, I got some tracks that I think you're going to absolutely love. But I want you to stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this. Love our first segment. Sometimes I go back and watch the first segment a couple of times,
Okay.
All right. You ready, Jay?
Time for the nitty gritty, partner.
Here we go. Is age difference important in a relationship?
I'm going to go with it. That's a preference.
Okay.
We're going to go back. It's more of a preference.
Yeah,
and I'm going to give you an idea.
Okay.
Some people look at it like, I like to date somebody my age. They like to do that because they want to grow old together. They figure they're the same age. They got a lot more in common. And that's the way, that's a preference. A lot of older people like younger women because, again, they might not deal with them on a level. And there's some people that's more mature and they like to date older men. That's a preference. And that's how they make it work. And maturity plays a lot into it before I look at age alone. Now, I do believe everybody needs to be of at least the age 21. When it comes to something serious, you can marry at the age 18. I always go with a little bit more to give you a little bit of time to date, experience some things, so you can make the best decision.
Right.
Now, if you 18 and you real confident in the person you with, I'm not disagreeing. That's a preference. That's what you choose. Do you?
But 18-year-old don't know shit, Jay.
But you got to remember, it's an 18-year-old that feel like she do.
But
if
she don't.
But if she's mature and she feels that she do, you can't take that away from her because it's a choice.
Yeah.
And that's where I feel like that's where we go wrong because we say, oh, you don't know. So now you're doubting and then she's gonna try to prove you wrong. So now she's gonna go at it even more to prove you wrong. These kind of deceiving herself. All the things of the red flags. She ain't gonna look for them no more because I'm just out to prove you wrong. And that's why I say cautiously take your time at the younger ages. Puppy love is nice. It is giving you an idea what it's gonna be when you get a little older, but it's gonna change because you don't have the outside world on you.
Yeah, and listen, it's very difficult to teach a young lady, what she's feeling. Right,
I know,
and the repercussions of what she's feeling. I know I have noticed in my many years of life that in small town USA, all these small towns across the country, that the young women will marry a young man and they'll stay married for many years. They'll, they have a shot at lifetime. They don't have as many distractions. Childhood sweethearts, maybe it ain't a whole lot of beautiful people in the community or whatever, people like you in the community. So I've noticed that it works pretty well in rural areas, but when you get into the city, you're making a big mistake to get married real early because it's not just about the options, it's about getting some life behind you before you make the decision. It's about having some experiences, getting some of your own, making some of your own mistakes, having more choice. From 18 to 21, that's 3 years of choice. That could dramatically change the whole direction of your life. Okay. And dramatically. And you and I know that. But if you let an 18, you're not but if you got an 18 or somebody young who want to get married, you really got to talk to them about it because they may not necessarily know what they're doing.
That's true.
And hopefully, and we've seen a lot. We've seen young women marrying older guys.
Yeah, right? A lot.
And I don't know if I've seen too much older women marrying younger guys. I haven't seen that too much.
It happens a little bit.
It happens a little bit. Yeah, I have a feeling that when that happens, somehow it's taking her back to some of her younger days because more than likely he probably hitting it strong and she ain't had it like that in a long time, and it can be good. There's a woman I used to work with, right? And she looked like a grandma. She was blonde hair. She was a gorgeous woman, but she was a grandma. She had a little weight on her, she kind of dressed older but classy. And I heard she had a 25-year-old man.
Okay.
And that can't be about nothing but fun. Because I don't know what the 25-year-old could teach her.
I don't know. I don't think she ready. I don't think she's looking to be. She might be the teacher.
It's all about preference, right?
Yeah, she preferred to teach.
Yeah, and if you put a 25-year-old man with a 50-year-old woman, that she probably absolutely enjoying that energy level that's coming at her.
That's a lot of good energy.
That's a lot of energy. Them little 25-year-old bucks be, they be like young bulls, right? So she could be enjoying that.
And think about it, with the right guidance, she can influence him to be a stronger person as well.
She could, Jay, but here's what's going to happen, and we got to get to this in the subject. Here's what's going to happen.
What's that?
He going to have too much energy. He gonna want to go out too much. He ain't gonna want to sit still. He ain't gonna want to do, he ain't gonna want to go to bingo and play cards. You know what I'm saying? He gonna want to go.
That ain't correct.
He gonna want to go to the club. You right?
Okay.
But listen, that's just what young people do. So now you're gonna start to have a difference between the young man and the older woman.
And you can, but remember, the 50-year-old woman could be in shape. And she might have a high output.
Yeah.
And if she do, he just matching her energy.
Yeah.
And that right there will sustain them for a very long time because the bingo will be a lot later where she's exercising, she's exerting herself, where she's was with a person
that's true
that was overweight, that was her age or older, and he was drawing her down. So she got something that was keeping her up.
There are a lot of vibrant 50-year-old women in the world.
Ooh, and
man, listen, I'm almost amazed at. I'm like, what have I been missing? You know what I mean? Because when I was 25, I should have been looking at them because they they're just so juicy. You know what I'm saying? Just so
Slow your horse.
They're just so
Slow your horse there,
you
buddy.
know, ain't nothing like there's nothing like a full. I'm gonna say this just because this is a great show, right? There's nothing like a beautiful full-figured, not full-figured, but you know how women get when they get grown, they get they get marinated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We also looking at this.
That's beautiful, man.
We also looking at this as a 50-year-old. You remember you 25 wearing your Timberlands, knocking backs out.
Yeah.
And you got her in that position. Yeah. You gotta admit, she gonna be getting up.
I had one time told me to stop. I didn't stop. She said I almost had a heart attack.
See, you was gonna be up for murder.
Hey, they'd got me too. I was like, I can't hear nothing when I'm doing that program.
I'm just saying.
I'm deaf and mute. I can't hear nothing. My mind be in a whole other world.
That's why you didn't need to be that way.
Yeah, that's why I need to be.
The younger ones could take that endurance.
Yeah.
You was trying to do too much.
So listen, but so here's the dynamic. We got a young man and we got an older woman.
Right.
And obviously they're both still sexually vibrant. And so they probably are having, great love making sessions, and she probably putting some of that old gravy meal on him every now and again, that mamas and grandmas making. And he probably getting the yard done real quick or helping out with the housework, and there's a lot of magic there. But at some point they're going to sit down and really get to know each other and what each other's dreams and visions and goals are, and that's where it's going to take some patience.
Correct.
Because that's where he's going to want to travel the world, and she's going to be like, nah, I probably ain't ready. I ain't want to do that no more. I done did all that, right? We can go on a trip or two, but you're going to start to see disparity in the age just because of the age bracket.
You can.
He may still be, grinding for his college education, and not to mention a lot of temptation out there. He gonna have sweet thing at the house, but he gonna see them other 20, 25-year-olds out there with him, and I imagine temptation will be a little bit more more difficult to get through.
Depends on him.
It is on him, but it'll be a lot of it, and for a young man out there in the midst of the same age bracket, we're all attracted to one another,
right?
So that might be a problem. Right. I think that he is going to get bored. I think that he is going to start wanting to be out of the house, do stuff. And, maybe she'll be okay with that, because there's some women, women who have found themselves like, hey, you go do you. I'll be right here, baby. Come on back. But if you have a person who loves by needing attention and your undivided time, etc., then that's going to be a headache for the kid. The kid's going to be like, damn, I can't even go out no more. I just want to go to a bar. I just want to go to happy hour on the way home. And now she fussing because I ain't home,
It can.
Yeah.
But you got to remember, a lot of people do this for the opposite reason of what we're talking about. They do it because they do want to let him go out and experience the world while they chill out. And that's how it can work. And also, they might want to do some things with him because of the things they've been through. So to me, remember, it's like a learning lesson. If you're going through some things and it was a breakup and a lot of different people you dated, and now you starting something new, you don't judge, but you also know what I'm not going to deal with and I'm not going to do. So this can be a helpful aid because this is a new person, you doing new things. Down to him, he ain't experienced all that. So now he don't have the headaches to what everybody else had at his age. So his friends is telling him things that he's not going to be experiencing because she's older, she's more mature. She ain't even with that. She's more like live your life, but we going to enjoy our lives together. And at that point, he going to be going back saying, bro, I don't know what you talking about. So he will have distance on the people that was giving him influence because they ain't influence. He'll use her. Yeah. And that's where it should be anyway. The person you wish should influence you in a positive way, not just your boys. Your boys is there, but half the time they're giving you horror stories of the stuff they've been through when we need to get back and actually appreciate each other for growth. Because I've been around a lot of cats that was wilding out. They found somebody and they stopped all that. I didn't do it. They did it on their own. But when they was wilding out, you try to calm them down. They wouldn't listen. They found that right one, and all of a sudden, you be like, yo, man, you doing some crazy stuff, man. I heard you getting married. You doing a bachelor party. Like, bro, I ain't gonna do all that. No, I'm not losing the one I'm with. So you can see the maturity level. from a person that was just wild and they ain't want to wild no more. So you appreciate it, but it comes differently. Some men later than women, some women way earlier. My whole thing is that's why I went with preference. Because if you get the right preference within the zone that you're comfortable with, you tend to deal with these people a little bit better. And sometimes you got to get out your comfort zone. You just wanted to date somebody your age and you thought that was it. And then you date them and it went downhills, it went different ways. So open that little line up and then you get a person that's right there with you, vibing with you. It might be an easier match. That's why I said we gotta watch because we be sometimes overly judgmented because we're judging off of our thoughts where it should be, and then it's not that way.
Yeah, we are judging off of our thoughts, but we also know what's real, and you gotta ask yourself this question. Watch this. You ever seen, 50, 60, maybe even a 70-year-old dude with a 25, 30-year-old chick?
Yeah.
And you gotta now in my mind, the first thing that come to my mind is like they probably gonna get something really good from one another, but he kind of stealing opportunities away from her. Because he knows she's got to live her life at 25 and 30. She's not trying to be sitting around the deacon in the church. She's not, she's not trying to do all that nonsense. She needs to live her life. She needs to think freely. She needs to be about business. She needs to be out seeing the world, making some, major experiences happening. And he's not going to give her that. And so sometimes I feel sorry when I see those type scenarios, right? It may be, she probably getting the Bozak like she never had it before, but that's probably all she gonna be able to get. Maybe some money, maybe he leave her a nice treasure, but she done left 20 years on the table of her life, running behind this man who done did his life, and she never did her life, huh? It depends who the man is.
And I agree with her because again, some men been through enough and they want to bless the person they with. So they might not be able to do all this. And a lot of times if you're a younger person and you were an older person, you might know that time lapse. But when they treat you well, and again, that right there is a winning factor. When a person shows you respect and you're not used to it, oh, believe me, it changes your life. Now, the older cat just knows it, and he just gives it instantly. And a younger person is not used to it. They're used to being disrespected. I promise you, she ain't looking at that person the same way she look at anybody her age.
That's right.
And at that point, she's more won over.
That's right.
So she don't even mind that the fact he might not go to clubs or do some of the things she want to do. She's going to cater to him because of the respect level that he gave her that she never had before.
Yeah.
Then it's a changer. Yeah. And that's why I said that preference did change. She might now look for older men compared to what she was because of what she's getting.
Yeah.
And that's what you can't judge.
And that happens a lot with young women. Young women, unfortunately, there's a lot of young women who seem to cater to the paper. And who got the paper? The older guys.
Oh, there some. There's a lot of broke people out there.
It happens a lot. We see a lot of young women marrying for money, huh? Come get in the mic. Get in the mic. Hit number 3 for me, boo. You ain't even got to get in the camera. Yeah, you ain't got to get in the camera.
That's number 4. Hit her on number 4.
She number 4. Oh, that's number 4. Okay.
Yeah, that's number 4.
Okay.
You can stand up.
So some women just want stability. I have friends that are 9, 10 years younger than me, and they ready to settle down. They good in setting their careers. They ready to have children. They ready to buy a house with the person. They ready to travel with the person. So I really think like the way I looked at it was that the older they are, the more focused, the more driven, and the more stable they are.
Okay.
Because kind of like people in the millennials, some can be very distracted. They not as focused. They may have a lot of dreams, aspirations, but they don't execute.
They're not.
And older men,
execute.
Not all of them, they execute, but they also wise. And they've been through things maybe that you never been through. So they give good advice too.
Yeah.
So, it depends on the man, what kind of man he is, what is he looking for, and what his intentions are. Because if he's a genuine person, there's a lot of things that you can avoid dating somebody older, just like a younger man dating an older woman. Now, just because you're older don't mean that you really lived your life, because there's some older men and older women that haven't lived.
Right.
Like my mom, she good in her 50s, but she didn't travel the way she wanted to.
Yeah.
She raised us. She worked hard all the time. You know, 2 jobs at a time. So
she's 50 now, right?
she's 53.
She's married?
No.
Okay, watch this. Would she date a 25-year-old man?
I think she would date someone younger if they were focused.
If they were
and they knew
focused.
what they wanted. Because she wants to travel. Like, she's ready. She like, you know, always want to plan. Always so like, she ready to get up and go.
Yeah.
She not sitting in the house. She don't want to sit in the house.
Yeah.
So
listen, I'm gonna need a picture of her before we get out of here.
But you know,
I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, listen, that's human, right?
so yeah. So when you say like older man can tie a younger woman down, that might not necessarily be true.
Might not be true.
Because
That's right.
maybe his pre-relationships or maybe a previous marriage, they didn't ever go nowhere. They never did nothing.
Right.
And then this woman, she has a good career. She's full of life and they have their interests. Okay, let's travel. I'm living back through my age of my 20s with you and I could keep up.
Yes.
So you don't never know the situation.
Yeah.
Because everybody is different. Everybody's intentions are not to be impure.
Yeah.
It's
That's
really
exactly
to find somebody that's on their level.
Yeah.
And sometimes 30, 25 years under is on your level because of that person mindset.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I like that.
And that's excellent. I want you to speak to the 50-year-old's mentality as a okay, we got to go to break, but I want to hear about
bringing it back.
the 50-year-old's mentality as it relates to they've experienced a lot, so they ain't about no bullshit right now. You know what I mean? Like, let's talk about that, because you typically not gonna come into an older person's world and get no real, stronghold unless you on point. Because they're less likely to take BS. We got to take our last break. I want you folks to stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
All right, welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back.
Man, all over age. That's a Leah song. Age ain't nothing but a number, but I tell you, it can make and break you if you depend on the age. I always say a preference, because everybody's preference is somewhat different. And that's why I feel like it is be based off of, because again, I don't think it's really any wrongs. And if you feel like you need to be with a person your age, that's your preference. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what you choose. But for a person that's looking from an older point of view to a younger, that's, again, the preference, but also he's looking for certain things. Okay? And it could be because of the fact that when he's dating somebody his age, he didn't get what he wanted, so he sees somebody younger, and he wants more out of life, and he chose that person.
That happens.
And that's a preference, either way with a woman.
And you and I have experienced that.
Yes.
That an older woman, and this is kind of where I was going before the break. An older person will sometimes be set in their ways.
A lot of times.
And they won't like to go out. They won't like to spend money. They won't like to have fun. They won't like to, maybe just be real active. They typically are laid back in their life. And they're comfortable laid back in their life, which means a old spontaneous young man probably ain't going to be right for her.
Well, I look at myself. I'm 52. I've dated somebody 40, 30, and I like to say, we went out and I have fun. I still go to club, okay? I don't go to club all the time, at all. And I'm not trying to do all that because I got too much business things I need to get done. But when I like to go out and have fun, I'm going to go out and have fun just like anybody else. I like to experience some things. But when it comes to traveling, I like to go places they might not ever been, because I've been experiencing. I went there, so I kind of know what I would like to have set up. I don't mind doing some things like off the rim, off the cuff, but a lot of things I like to plan.
Yeah, I don't do anything off the cuff.
The reason I say just some things is a short.
Because my days are planned, my weeks are planned.
Because I can get more out of life.
Right.
Because again, I want to get scrupulous in what I want to do, so I can get more out of it compared to me just running around trying to chase you. No, I want to make sure it ain't just a chase; it's an enjoyment.
Right.
And that's where we start changing some of the things up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm just picturing a couple together who, I don't know. Let's just say that she is a go-getter. That at what point is there challenge in the relationship? I know that everybody has to, he has to be probably a little more mature than the average man his age. Or, if it was vice versa, she's got to be more mature than the average woman her age in order to deal with an older person. See, I'm of the notion that at the beginning it's going to be just a lot of great fun. But once we sit down and, I'm saying, like, hey, I go to church every Sunday. We're going to be in church every Sunday. We're going to go ahead and buy a house. And so now you're going to be obligated to, we're going to go ahead and get another 150, $200,000, $300,000 house. And so you got a mortgage. And so you need to get a good job. And now I'm putting pressure on you to get a good job and to make my life happen as your wife, that happens. Right?
Yes.
And so we just got to be careful in how we pick our mates. I'm learning to like a younger woman, right? Because she got
why a younger one?
Well, not young, but younger.
Okay.
When I say young, 35 to 45.
Okay, that's a preference.
Right? 35 to 45.
How old are you?
I'm 53.
And you said 35 to 45.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I say 35 to 45. A lot of them is moving into they grandparent stage in that 45 range. Which means the kids out the house, right? So I'm experiencing ladies who are, they've raised their families, they've been there and done that just like me,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
And so,
So would you date someone that don't have kids at 30, if they're 35, between 35 and I guess like 43
yeah,
or whatever?
yeah. See,
Okay.
I'm a little different in that thing, right?
Okay.
If I felt, I got to put it on there, it's got to be an anointing. Let me just ask the question.
Okay, go ahead.
It's got to be an anointing, right? I got to see rainbows and unicorns. The Lord's got to speak to me on the subject. But if I met a 25-year-old woman with 2 or 3 young kids, and I fell in love with her, I would marry her, and I would take great care of her kids. I'm not stuck in what should and shouldn't be. I really am interested in that soul survivor type relationship. You know what I mean?
Okay, so if she 35, between 35 and 45, have no kids, and you really like her, and you know that she has a desire that she may want some children, are you willing to start over?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nothing for me.
Okay.
That'd be nothing for me. I just as
Let me do the math on this.
and let's
time that child graduated.
but listen, I ain't got to walk as far. I'm prosperous now.
You
You know what I'm
in a
saying?
wheelchair.
I can hire a nanny.
Exactly.
Huh?
Exactly. I mean, but
Yeah, I mean, I can hire a maid.
these
The
things
life
that
wouldn't
you
be the
can-
same.
Right, because you're stable, and then especially what you say, like, you don't want to put that pressure on a woman, but if they're that age and they know they want to have children, they're going to be on the same mindset. Because if somebody want to have children and they waited that long, their mindset is different.
Yeah, their mindset is very different.
So they already know what they walking into. Like,
Yeah,
we definitely are going to build the foundation and do it the right way, or I would have been had children.
yeah. And by the way, I would just suspect that she has a mentality that says, I want a child and I hope we have a great long-time love relationship. But if we don't, haul ass, I'll take care of this. I got, what I'm saying? I got my own. I don't
Right.
need you to do nothing for me.
Right.
I just want to be loving together and have a child together, and let's make something special happen. I'm all in for that.
Okay.
I'd be all in for that. I don't know. I marvel at those experiences. My daughter is having that experience right now, and I'm living kind of vicariously through her.
Okay.
Right.
She just had a child and started a family and own a new home, and and it's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I marvel at those days. My very best days in life were my married days.
Okay.
And so I'm all about that ride or die, thriving, just be in the game, let's make this happen. I don't worry about sleep, so I ain't worried about late nights and early mornings. I'd love to take care of a family. I would have no problem with that. I don't think that's my calling, because I do have enough love to do that, but I don't think that's what the Lord wants me to do. I remember a time where I felt like after the relationship had broken up, I felt like somehow being in the relationship hog-tied me a little bit toward my career aspirations. It was just after the fact that I felt that, and I began to spend extreme amounts of time on this purpose and this vision, this thing I was born to do. And so I've been kind of thinking that, hey, maybe the Lord kind of separated me from that so He can make sure that I get this work done. And I've been getting the work done, and the whole world's about to see it in a very, very short period of time. But I'm
So you
not sure
felt like
that,
you was kind of held back a
yeah,
little bit
and
because you weren't able to pursue as
Yeah.
much as you wanted to pursue because you had a responsibility.
Yeah.
You wanted to be the best for them because they were priority.
Yeah. And so if I have a relationship now, that my relationship is going to need to be very understanding of my purpose.
Right.
You know, I remember hearing a song by, I don't know, Music Soul Child or Nas or somebody said, hey, you are a beautiful girl and I love you, but I just might be in love with music too much.
I mean,
know?
I think
And
people
so-
do go through that though.
Yeah.
People do go through that. Even people, even the younger generation. Like me, I'm 35 and I changed careers. So it's like
Yeah.
I'm starting all over again.
Yeah.
Even though I'm still young, it's like I'm starting over. So whoever I'm with has to understand that.
Right. That's going to be very important. And it's their maturity level that's
Right.
going to basically determine if they understand that.
Right.
If they understand that, you're going to have to spend a lot of household money to make money.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
they don't understand. A lot of people don't understand that 100% game. You know,
They don't,
And
especially if they're not like entrepreneur spirit.
right.
That's why
That's
you have
right.
to
Gotta be
definitely
like-minded.
like-minded. So it's like the age difference doesn't matter to me. I think the most important thing is that are you an entrepreneur spirit,
Yeah.
or have you been in a situation where you did have to put in the time without even seeing a return on your investment?
Yeah.
Maybe years.
Yeah.
Right.
Later.
Maybe years
Yeah.
later. Like
You
I'm
know
working
what
on
it is to take a risk.
near
You
30.
know what it is to invest.
Yeah.
You know what it is to just basically grind and get up every day like it's the first day.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's more important to me than age.
It is. It is.
I agree.
And I don't know our young men well enough to know if they're really doing that.
Well,
You know?
we're going to do a special segment right after this show. We're going to hold off a little bit. I'm bringing my son on and see if we can add that younger vibe.
Yeah.
To see if we can add a little bit more to it. But that's going to be the YouTube special for y'all. Got to go to YouTube next week to hear that part. But I want to answer that question real quick that you just threw out there. Because I'm 52 and then I meet somebody 35 and they want to have kids. No.
No, Jay?
No, hell no.
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 Not at
I still
all.
go to club. No, I ain't.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, my ass ain't
You
sitting there
are-
babysitting.
well,
I'm going out there. I'm living my
born
best
in-
life without a child.
So-
my kids is young. I mean, my youngest child right now is 30 years old. I'm not starting all the way back over. I'm about to travel the world. Now, if she want that, I feel like there's a nice person out there that can give her that. At this point, you might need to find out whatever you need to do. Now,
So why
I
you
want to
can't
practice
travel
having
with
a
your
kid
child?
without having a kid.
Why you can't travel with your child?
Why?
So they're
Because
being
I don't want to go
all the
nowhere.
And
There's
listen,
too
watch
much
this.
going on in the world. That baby
Watch
needs to
this.
stay safe.
Watch
I
this.
need to go and explore. I'm gonna take that danger. Okay.
So you potentially could put yourself in a position
Uh-huh.
where the real Mrs. Hoggebrook, like the real deal, like
Holyfield.
yeah, Holyfield, come into the picture.
Uh huh.
And as much as you love and care for her, as much as she's a great person, as much as you would love to be with her, you're not gonna give her a child.
I'm not trying. Listen, I have my preference. My preference is not. I did mine. I struggled through raising mine. I know what I went through, and if I don't care to go through it again, that's my preference, my choice.
Did you have support, like with your kids, like family and stuff
Well,
like
yes,
that?
I had a huge support. Family been very good, and they helped me a lot through that.
Okay.
But it still was a struggle because, again, it was 5. You have 5
Right.
by 3 different women. It ain't always going to be easy. And, again, I did it at
Oh,
a young
yeah.
age. So I did my own suffering and
Yeah,
finding my way and stumbling
listen.
through. I didn't do it always the right way.
When you say it that way,
They didn't make it be like, no, he don't. I
Yeah.
wouldn't do it neither.
when you say it the way you just said it, now I wouldn't want to go through that again either. You know?
And I would want to express that to whoever I meet,
Right.
just to make sure they have a comfortable position with me. Because if she really wants, I don't want to take that away from her.
Would you adopt?
One more time.
Jay don't want no more.
I don't got no
kids.
dog.
Listen,
I don't got
hold
no
on,
cat.
hold on.
I ain't got no goldfish.
He don't have
no
no
snake.
goldfish.
Maybe
Listen,
maybe a
it was a
10-year-old.
bird that was in my garage. We got rid of
you
his
gotta
ass.
go. You gotta
He
go.
has to go. You know what I'm saying? I seen a little bug around here. I put that home defense. He don't pay rent. He had to go too. Ain't nothing up in here.
Okay.
But me
And-
and my mama.
and let
we
me-
chilling. We having fun.
That's perfect.
let me say this.
In-house mom, in-house support.
Right.
Then she has her mom, her family.
And she might even
know,
even let you have a girlfriend.
Who
He
did
said, "Hold
that?
on, okay, that changed the whole. That changed the whole. That changed
You
the
said
history.
who gonna let what?
Yeah.
A grown ass
You
man.
give her a baby and you marry her.
Oh, Jay said you ain't gotta let me have nothing. I'm gonna have what I want to
I'm
have.
about to tell you. At this point, I've been picking what I want.
Watch this. Watch this. And I guess I'd say this for young people who just might be on their way into a relationship, or you like older people, that you should know that they have some very determined ways about them.
Like you said, set in
ways.
their.
They're set in their ways, and sometimes it may take you a little while to figure out. Don't lose 5 or 10 years of your life figuring out that they wasn't going anywhere in the first place.
Please don't.
They was just talking to get you, and they got you and sold a dream, and you fell into this lullaby of a relationship, and it just stayed there.
People know.
know, it
Let me
just
tell
stayed
you,
there.
when you
But they
know
won't-
someone's stuck in their ways. You
You
choose
start to figure it out.
to stay. Ain't no figure out.
and again, if a
You
person
figure out quickly.
You
and
choose
you
to stay.
choose to stay.
Why?
Because you feel, this is so silly, but we do it all the time. We feel like we can change the way this person feels by being, well, let me be understanding that they can't change overnight. Let me be patient.
That's good
And
though,
then-
right?
But you say again, don't waste 5 years of
Thank
your
you.
life. And that 5 years
Yeah.
could have been that person say, okay, let me be patient. Let me be understanding. Let me be supportive. Let me see if I'm just willing to compromise on some things, even though I know they know it's really not the right way to do. But let me sit back and be patient. And then you look up and you've really been patient for 3, 4, 5 years.
And now what?
And now what, right?
You got to quit them. You walk away from that.
I mean, at least that's why I say honest on the upfront. Because again, then some people feel like, well, I'm just gonna give him one, and because he already took care of his. See, now you're trying to take my options and my choice away, and that's why I said be upfront with a person. If you don't desire, and that's your preference
That's
not
good.
to,
Listen.
let's be honest, and that way that person can say, you know something, this is the deal breaker. Do it early enough where you don't waste the time.
That's good, Jay.
Thinking you can change somebody by giving them a child was the biggest mistake women have made at a young age, let alone at an older age. Don't do that. That ain't no guarantee.
I learned that a long time
Yeah,
ago
don't
from
do that.
other people's mistakes.
Yeah.
That's a child is never a pawn that I would ever use in any type of negotiation
never should be.
or debate in my life.
But listen, but the struggle is much deeper. Sometimes it ain't about children. Sometimes it's about, are you gonna marry me? And, are we just hanging out? Or are we just going together for years? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to marry me? And sometimes you get to a place where you be like, I don't really want to marry this person, but I'm enjoying the time. I'm enjoying the moment that we have. And that can create some conflicts.
Oh, definitely
sometimes.
cause friction because at that point, I guess when a person is like ultimatum, it's really like they so deep in and head over.
Yeah, their feet are
like,
dug in.
They just like, okay, so if they do tell me no, am I really gonna go? And that person might know that. Like I could tell them the truth. They still not gonna go nowhere.
It's still not going to go nowhere. Right.
And then that
Right.
person that feel guilty, that's what I wonder. Like, should you still feel guilty?
No, because it's not your preference.
Yeah, it's not.
It's like
Should you still
somebody
feel
trying
guilty? That person is still saying after the fact.
I mean, I've been in that position before, and the only thing I can tell you is I don't really feel guilt, but my whole thing is to be honest. And when you're being honest and you're telling a person that's not what you're looking for right now, that's not where you at, and they still feel like they can change you. The good thing about change, it has naturally within me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you have
if
to
that
want
person
to.
sticks with me and they still show me they're a good person, I
You
probably
still gonna
will
go
change-
with it. You're not
I
gonna
probably
walk
will
away.
change my mind and end up doing it.
Oh.
Because the main reason why I didn't want to do it is because I failed at it
Pressure.
once before. I want to make sure I get it right. Getting it
Okay.
right means I got to know that person a little bit more scrupulous than I knew the last one.
Okay.
The last one, I kind of just slipped in because I didn't know what marriage consisted of.
Right.
Just like in business. I got in business before I really knew what it consisted of. So normally the first one failed fairly quick. Okay.
Okay.
And then I had to get on my grind to make sure that didn't happen again. No different than to come to me a long-term marriage again. Because anything I do again is going to be a long-term. I'm not
Right.
looking for a failure.
Right.
Okay.
Let me ask you this question, and I know we got less than a minute, but maybe it's rhetorical. But if you're getting ready to get into a relationship with somebody or marry somebody, is it important how many times they've been married?
No.
Okay.
I like to say if it is,
Okay.
I'm going to still put it on the table because I'm not going to take that away.
Yeah.
My one marriage compared to her none might make a difference for her, might not.
Or her
she had,
three.
Or she had three and I had one.
Yeah.
My whole thing is, did she learn from them?
Yeah. Well, she learned something, but listen, her financial ties are forever with those other 2 or 3 men.
Yeah, but
and you going into a relationship, you need to know that. And if you don't know that, you're gonna spend some of your money on her
You
ex
gotta
husband.
remember, you said 3 ties. There's people that have got 5, 6 kids.
That's what I'm
and
saying.
been married 2 or 3
Kids.
times. So that 2 or 3 marriage ain't got nothing compared to the other soul ties with them children that she
Right.
got as well.
Yeah.
So she spread it, but the number one thing is if she learned from a lot of things she went through, she can nurture through
She can
anything.
still be a good woman.
So
and a good
I'm
mate.
not gonna judge, and I ain't gonna say high value, no value. I'm not gonna play with nobody. I think everybody got value. You gotta
Exactly.
understand it, recognize it, and then respect it, and then y'all can grow.
Outstanding.
Without
Exactly.
that,
Listen.
you got failure amongst you, and that's what we have in this community today. We got expectation with no desire to make a full commitment.
That's
I don't
powerful, Jay.
care not to do that. I care to do better.
We got to get out of here. This has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smith. Of course, we thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We hope you've enjoyed our show. We're here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live, on all the other platforms. Please like, share, subscribe. Send to all your friends and family. Come back and join us for some more of this wisdom next week on Bar Talk with Jay. We love you. We appreciate you. And with that, folks, we are out.
Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay. This is that special for that YouTube. This is for the YouTube. Because we wasn't able to get this in on the Facebook and all the rest, but I want to make sure we get in the young person. So I got my son jumping in, and he's going to give his little thoughts on this whole topic. So give him the topic real quick, Kraft. See if he can understand what these young people might be going through. Maybe we can get some more insight.
All right, Rock Diesel, I need to hear from you tonight. Question goes like this. Is age difference important in a relationship?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. And why do you say that?
Well, first of all, age ain't nothing but a number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And really it comes down to the person itself. So, some people are mature, within their actions and the things that they do. So, from my perspective, I've dated someone older.
How much older?
About maybe at that time, that person was about 5 years older than me.
Okay. 5 years. That's not too bad.
Right.
5 years. I think that's a normal
And
number.
how much
Pretty
younger?
average.
How much
That's
younger?
pretty average.
That's average. And what's about the younger?
Anything from about 7 to...
What the hell?
Are you trying to say 17?
No, I
don't even want to hear 17.
7 years. So at
Oh,
the time-
7 years younger. Okay.
Yeah, at the time
Yeah.
I'm 30. the
Help us
person
help
was-
you.
Let's
This is Georgia.
wait,
We're
wait,
not
wait.
going down.
Let's start at 21.
At the time I was
How old are you,
I was
Rock?
30, and at the time the person was what, 23? That's 7 years,
Okay.
right?
Oh, okay.
Good Lord.
That's how I started.
You got hot in
I was
here.
like 23.
Dad was
dating
scared.
Somebody 30,
Okay.
mid 30s.
Okay. And let me ask you this. What did you notice? What did you notice about dating somebody older than you? What was the straw that broke the camel's back, for example?
I feel like an older person, they have of course they're older, so they may depending on the person, may have their life a little bit more organized and together.
Okay.
Versus a younger person, they're pretty much trying to figure things out as they go.
Okay.
So,
And was that a problem with y'all?
not the only problem I think I had was more of like the like almost like a dictatorship. Like you want me to be a certain way, and I
Good.
felt like they were grooming me.
Pushing you?
Nah, kind of like grooming me.
I
Trying to
think that's
groom
what
you.
women would do,
And
though. That's kind of like a common characteristic, probably when you're a younger man. A woman might try to do that if she feels like she can mold you into who she wants you to be because you're young.
And so was she like trying to change your dress, or she was trying to change the way that you act, or how you walk, or you?
more
Think?
so no, it was more so how I act.
Okay, your behaviors.
Right.
She was.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get you back with an older woman then.
She
We're gonna
was
hook you up tonight.
definitely.
So I need
Okay.
somebody about 40.
And how about you, Brittany? What about the older guy? What was the the challenge? What do you remember as an issue?
Yeah, and the age difference.
So I was 22.
Mhm.
Okay, so I had like 3 older guys in a period of like 3 years or so.
Okay.
One was just a friend, but he would show me new things, like take me to very nice restaurants, expose me to
Okay.
things that I wasn't used to because I lived in a small city.
Right.
So he was the oldest of them all. I think he probably was in his mid-30s when I was 22.
Okay.
But I met him, like I used to bartend, and he was cool. He did have his stuff together.
He
He
had his stuff
worked
together. Okay.
for what he worked. He worked at like this major company back home, but he had already been there for like 25 years.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So he was very stable, had a home, had, another property. He was just stable. Didn't have no kids at the time.
Okay.
So that was cool. And the other guy, he had his own place, but he had a child.
Okay.
And the child mother had 2 other kids that he was also in their life. So that, to me, being at 22, I think he was about 28 at the time. He had his own place, but he was still in that stage where he was trying to figure it out too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was a lot of back
Yeah.
and forth.
And was there any particular thing about the older guys that pushed you away? Those particular guys, not necessarily older guys.
I
Were they,
did
like,
also move in at 25 with a 30-some-year-old, and we
Okay.
lived together.
Okay.
He was married and got a divorce like 2 months before I moved in.
Okay.
So his mentality was a little different. He was ready to settle. He was ready. But then I intervened at a time where he was enjoying his single, even though he wanted a relationship. So
Yeah.
that factor, the point that he got married so young and then got back dating, even though he was older, it's
Yeah.
like I had to come up with an ultimatum. Like, either you can't keep leaving me in the house.
Yeah.
We ain't gonna do that.
You gonna run the
I'm
streets, so
young,
you
too,
gonna
'cause
be
there was
home.
It was no excuse why I couldn't go. I'm
Right.
22, 25. Like,
Right.
I like to go out too.
Yeah.
I want to go to the city.
Yeah.
So that right there, dealing with a man fresh out of divorce, but got married young, but even he was in his 30s, he still couldn't. It was the difference with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, but the older man, he played around a lot. He was a player. He was an OG.
Okay.
He was like, he reminded me of Jay.
Okay.
Like, he would openly
happy?
express to me, like, he made good money, but he didn't never want to spend his money. He'll spend his money on me.
Yeah.
But he didn't even really date young women. He liked to mess with the older women that had the checks.
Right.
That was his game. And
Yeah.
he did it up until he was 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was his
listen,
game.
I
So he didn't
honor
have
him.
it together.
Yeah.
He had it together, but he didn't want to be in a relationship. Until after, like, I think about 10, 12 years later, it was like, Brittany, you should come back home and settle down. I'm like, oh, you burnt out, player.
Your best days behind you.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna slow me up.
Right. You can't get with the older women now because you don't look as you.
Right.
People know you of their age now.
Right.
You still was holding on.
You
Right.
let that
But then
youth-
was like, but he played around too long. So
I
Listen,
like that.
one of the concerns / issues of dating people different ages, and we have to take those things into account. I don't necessarily need to know how many times you've been divorced, but I sure would like to know you got married at 17, you know what I'm saying, and then you got a divorce at 30, And I'm like, okay, I know what you ready for. Right?
Good
And I
time.
remember you probably spent many of those years like, I wish I could get the hell out of here. And now that you out, you probably, you ain't gonna be good for a relationship right now. I would like to know that. And not everybody probably would need to know that, because it would tamper them a little bit in terms of how they feel about that person or what they're willing to engage in. But yeah, I like to know a little history, and the history that you just shared with me was important. It was important to know that he was consumed by his other family and still trying to figure it out.
Right.
It was important to know that he got married young, and he's a player. You got to figure those
Right.
things out really before you get
You do.
your feet dug in too much. And
But it's the age, the perception, like you said, like we think because you're older, you're stable until you have to take the time to really get to know somebody. I mean, I think,
and see, that's a catch-22. Taking the
right.
time to get to know him
And
could
you
be the
already
time
gonna
you
be
get the hell
in
out of
it.
there.
Yeah, you already gonna be in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's a catch-22.
yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot, and it's like you said, when people, it's some things people are stuck in their ways with.
Yeah.
Like Booby be stuck,
Yeah. Okay.
but he's so much older than me too.
Right.
That's pretty much the largest gap in a serious form of relationship.
Right. Right.
So that's different, and then lifestyle different.
Different. Yeah.
Like I've dated people in the industry because I always dealt with artists because I was a publicist. So I got it. I get it. That never bothered me. But
Right.
like to have a person that was always so much in control, it was his thing that he was running. It's a different perspective of a lifestyle in the entertainment industry. It's not, I'm not the back man. I'm not the middleman. I'm the boss.
Yeah.
So that demeanor.
Yeah. And see,
There's a
I would,
difference,
I would
And
think.
then you being 13, 14 years older than me.
Right. But
Like,
but think about this.
sometimes like, hold up. I ain't 1 to 5 now.
If anybody who you get involved with who has their own, that's probably the mentality they're gonna have. Right? They're not
Right.
used to submitting. They're
No.
used to being in control. And
No.
if you want to jump on the ship and be a great follower, then that's okay. But you're probably not going to stop them from being the chief executive
You
officer in
hit
their own life.
the nail on the head, Crab.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Either you fall in line or you don't get in line at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen.
And it's fair. That's what normally
for somebody
happens.
who's
I hate
going-
to say it. I've been there.
We're all there.
Doing it,
Everybody
yeah.
who wants to achieve something,
Yeah.
we're all there. We try to have relations. I had a business in my living room with my wife for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm making a lot of things happen for my family, and she not into any of it. She not feeling it. She not liking it. And so I'm like, shit, man, this right here was bringing in the bread, and you ain't interested in it.
Right.
So, I don't know what to do.
understand that. I don't understand that because I've always, let's get this straight. Even though
Uh-huh.
I dealt with a boss, I was very much independent in my own right. Now, I
Right.
spoke my mind.
Yeah.
It bumped some heads, but I would speak my mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Because
that's
I've always done everything on my own. I took care of my sisters. I'm the oldest.
good. Right.
I am what it is. So
Right.
you took care of yours, and I always took care of mine.
Right.
So
But that's the respect level, though.
yeah,
See,
I mean,
that's-
I get it, but see,
But
it's
see,
like
you a boss too. That's what you're saying.
being in
Different
that
boss.
lifestyle, the approach, like in entertainment, you're not taught to respect women. Like
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
your mother taught you or you respect your mother, you're not gonna respect these hoes that you call label. You know what I mean? You're not. You were taught like every woman, they have to show you their value, and then even if they show you something, you don't even recognize their value. And that's the thing, like getting somebody that recognize that there are women that hold value.
Listen, all of the women hold value, right? But you're not going to ever stop a real man from getting after what he needs to get after. And until a woman understands, like with or without you, we got to drive. You know what I'm saying? We got to drive, and we got to drive forward. And a lot of women,
Some men,
some men
'Cause I met
like
some
don't
men.
understand that drive, or don't want to get with that drive, or ain't
Right.
about that drive.
Right.
And so that makes us incompatible. because I've spent my entire life about this drive. I'm gonna get done with our evening at 9, 10, 11 o'clock, and I'm going in the office. And I'm gonna be there for a couple of hours, and I'm gonna get into bed, and I'm gonna get up early, and I'm gonna be gone, and I'm gonna be going to this meeting, and I'm gonna need this happen, and this help, and this support, and this support. I need you to be on the team, because if you're not on that team, you're getting in the way of the mass vision.
Right.
And so it's important that when we get in relationships, we got to figure out where they're going.
You do.
And if they need a good follower and you can do that, they probably, now I don't necessarily like the word follower, because I want to acknowledge greatness in the women who followed the men who achieved greatness.
A helpmate.
Yeah,
a good helpmate.
Yeah, I want to cover it in this way. There have been so many wives to do tremendous things for men who achieved greatness.
Exactly.
Those men were not going to be stopped in any way. But these women filled in these gaps that these men needed, and they supported them in so many extreme ways. It's not even fun. You can't really even call that followership. You know, it demeans it to call it followership. It's something much greater than followership, because they're in the gaps. I would imagine Michelle did all kinds of stuff for Obama.
And stuff that she more than willing wanted to do, because she wanted to see him some stuff. She'd be like, I don't know, but you're my man, and I see your vision.
That's right.
And I'm your wife, and I'm going to stand beside you, and we're going to see this vision through.
And the key is that she can see the vision.
Right. You got to have somebody see the vision. I think that was the difference in age too, because even though like Boobie was the only person that kind of matched my vibe, because even when I was dating older men, not the older one, because he was already stable, but the two more on the younger side were had 10 years on me, I used to always push them entrepreneurship. They would do stuff and I'd be like, you know more than the person that employ you. People come to you, they see you. Why is you working? And to this day, like, sometimes if I bump into them at home, they be like, man, you the one that inspired me. I tell everybody, they don't even talk about who they with. They say, you were like a best friend. Like, you inspired me. Now I flip houses. Yeah. Now I start my own da-da-da. Now I do this, now I do that. But when I met him, he was older and he was already his own boss. So it's like, he already had that going, and it was already matched. So when he was like, "Oh, I got this," I'm like, "But what you want me to do? What we gonna do? Like, come on, put me like worse them."
Finally, I met somebody. I ain't gotta go and teach them. Listen, and
you about to get taught,
and you can't teach nobody to be a self-starter.
No,
right?
No,
but if you, and that's a equally yoked or not equally yoked type thing, right?
No.
So you gotta find some, even with the age gap.
Yeah,
there are people out there that have that 10, 14-year gap. And it works for whatever period of time it works, because
that's right.
You all are on the same level.
There you go.
It happens. So I will always vouch for the age difference, because it has worked before. Like, it worked.
It worked.
And also, I like to say is also by the fact that you was always encouraging to have somebody in that position of boss already. Mm-hmm. It's enlightening when you respect them and let them know that, hey, where I came from, I push people, but I'm glad to see you there.
Yeah.
It's an acknowledgement of him already knowing he put forth a sacrifice to get to where he at, in the appreciation.
Listen, everybody wants somebody who wants something.
There you go.
Right? And you see a lot of people lounging in their relationships, lounging in their business, they lounge on the job. I'll be damned if they gonna on their own business. You know what I mean? They just but people who are go-getters, true warriors, fighters, make it happen, stay in the game no matter what, always on the move and shaking. Those are the kind of people that everybody loves.
They do.
Right? They love those, but in some cases it's like a latch, and they end up having to pull you for the next 10 years of their life, and that can be heavy on those kind of people.
And I'm gonna give you one nugget to help people to understand about a boss and what we might be looking for. When you see that we're a boss and we're doing some things, encourage us by, when I ask you some things, that you help me get it done.
Solutions.
Yes, it's just I don't
Let's
come to people with my problems all the time. Yeah. So my whole thing is, when I'm talking to somebody, you always give me your problems. I'm just listening. A lot of that you can solve on your own. But when I got business in front of me, I don't like to be flustered with a lot of unnecessary stuff. I like it for a person to be like, "Can you step away from it real quick? Calm me down and make me get back into my excellence. Know me to know that I can do this." You know, don't give me a falseness. Oh, you got this. You got. I'm not for sure of that.
Somebody
and I don't
does
care
that
to
has
hear
no
it.
interest.
So
It's a brush off.
right, that's all
I've
it
been
is.
there, done it. If
Because
you don't know what to
they're
tell me, just say, well, you know, baby, I really don't know what to tell you.
And guess what? It means more
But
to
what
me.
can I do?
That mean more to me.
But don't be like, okay, yeah, you good. No, I don't want to hear that because that is not genuine. That's not concern. Like, break it down to me. Be honest. You don't know. You don't know. Cool. But I can tell you what you can do.
But I could tell you things
And be willing to do it.
Things I like as a nugget. I give you an idea. You don't went back and researched it. I was just talking to you about an idea.
Right.
She don't went Google and brought back some research for you because of the fact of how you talk. See, this is another person that I can say, even though they don't do what I do, they're willing to encourage you.
Right.
Exactly.
Now, when somebody riding your coattail, they will listen. You ain't gonna do nothing with. You got this. You gonna get it because they already just
go boy
to be you.
Right.
Go girl.
You're on
That's
the
a
sideline
cheerleader.
just waiting for the money
Don't
to roll
no
in.
successful strong man want a damn cheerleader. Okay,
No.
I got everybody over there that's a hater. I'm gonna flip them to be
Into
my cheerleader.
Exactly.
My woman need to be my extra motivator.
Exactly.
She's the person I'm looking for, not them. They cheering me. Okay, that motivation is simple and ain't real. But the person next to me gotta be the next realest thing. It's me and her, and that's why I say it's a partner. Okay, and that's where people are failing because you got enough, you got your fans, you got everything else, and that's why you will not be Mrs. Hoggerbrook.
Well, that's why
side.
That's a type of person that's low key. They low key envious.
Well, low key gonna be not
and
married
jealous.
to me.
Yeah,
Ain't gonna be married.
Hating from the inside.
That's low key hating. Oh, you.
I'm just gonna give you a nugget.
You got.
They won't be married to me.
You got it. They saying, no. You need somebody like you said that the research part that shows genuine interest. Exactly. You're interested in it. You don't know nothing about it, but you can go out your way to figure out. Okay, well, how can I be more intellect about it? How can I even come or even think or interject to help his mind start working at a different level? Help him start brainstorming.
See, I love
that.
I
don't know a lot.
I need that one.
All that digital stuff. Sometimes like I don't know nothing about this digital stuff, but I'm gonna ask some questions. They may be stupid. I'm a you know what I mean? But hey, I'm gonna try to get it working.
But you're trying to help.
Trying
to help. And listen, I think as we close out this segment of the show, we're all just looking for the right partner. And the right partner fits so many pieces of your puzzle. So many pieces. It's incredible. You like the same foods. You can finish each other's sentences sometimes. You maybe have disparity in your age, but you have a clear and unified vision of where you're going. And whether that's, in a family or in just a lifetime relationship, we're looking for good partners. And it doesn't matter their age. It matters their maturity, and it matters their interest in getting a good life done.
That mindset.
And so this has been our extended version of the Bar Talk with Jay. We hope you folks have enjoyed it, and we want to thank you. We love you. We appreciate you. And with that, we are out.